who is graduating EJA in June. I pretend to be little again, but I know I am growing up. I feel excited to meet new people in middle school. I touch the window in the bus to say goodbye each year. I worry about getting lost in the hallway. I cry about not being able to see my friends in my classes. I am a fourth grade girl who is graduating EJA in June. I understand that I have to keep moving forward. I say goodbye to lovely EJA. I dream about middle school being nice and respectful. I try to get good grades on tests. I hope I can get through middle school. I'm a fourth grade girl who's graduating EJA in June.
I'm a fourth grade boy who is graduating EJA in June. I wonder what the whole middle school experience will be like. I hear Miss Golden say, "Wait, I don't want to lose it," for the last time, when she is writing an awesome sentence. I see Mr. Delinquent with the President's pencil for the last time. I want to fit in, but I don't know if I will. I'm a fourth grade boy who is graduating EJA in June. I pretend to be 4 again, but I know I'm 10. I feel nervous and excited to move to a different school. I touch my cubby for the last time. I worry that I won't be able to open my locker. I cry because I will miss my school. I'm a fourth grade boy who is graduating EJA in June. I understand I am moving on, but I want to stay here. I say goodbye to the old and hi to the new. I dream I'm young again. I try to be young again, but it doesn't work. I hope I remember all the good memories from EJA. I'm a fourth grade boy who is graduating EJA in June.
Okay, Vincent, you're fine.
I'm a fourth grade boy who is graduating EJA in June. I wonder what the lockers will be like. I hear my teacher read books for us that I will always remember. I see my friends have fun and play apples to apples. I'm a fourth grade boy who is graduating EJA in June. I pretend to be little again, but I'm growing more and more. I will feel my teacher's words when she consoles me. I touch the bowl and I get a shock on the slide. I worry that EJA will be hard to leave behind. I cry because the school taught me so much and it's time to move on. I am a fourth grade boy who is graduating EJA in June. I understand my mom's cries when I move on. I say goodbye to all my teachers, friends, and principal, but I have to go. I dream of being a cop, YouTuber, or a firefighter. I try my best to stay as long as I can. I hope to follow my dreams and become who I want to show my teacher my hard work. I am a fourth grade boy who is graduating EJA in June.
Okay, we wanted to recognize the Coaching Staff Award.
Hi, my name is Ashley Gansel. I'm a committee member of the Greater Capital Region Track and Field and Cross Country Hall of Fame. And each year our committee selects 4 scholastic athletes and 1 coaching staff. And this year's coaching staff, I'm honored to announce that it goes to the Coxsackie-Athens coaches staff for their hard work and commitment in developing your track and field program. And earning their first sectional title. In order to earn that sectional title, it definitely takes a rare coach. There's many coaches that aren't able to coach all of the different events in track and field, the distance, the sprints, the throws, the jumps, and you definitely have a solid coaching staff here at Coxsackie-Athens that cares a lot about their athletes and goes out of their way and above and beyond to support all their athletes. So congratulations, Coxsackie-Athens.
if you're retirees, you want to come up so the board can have one last look at you. There you go.
One last look. We're not dying.
No, we're living. Last week's day. So, again, here's most of our retirees here tonight. I got my slip of paper on my desk, so you're going to have to say how many years at CA. So, Jackie Wilson, how many years?
22 years at CA, 30 overall.
Okay, great.
Joanne, yes, and I'm here 30 plus years.
Those are right.
23, something like that, and I'm teaching 37, so.
Karen, no?
12 at CA and 34 in education.
Eric?
33 years here at Coxsackie-Athens.
So on behalf of the board, certainly we thank you for all your service here at CA, with all of our kids, and the impact you've had on generations, really, of students who come through here. It's certainly much appreciated. So I'm going to miss your knowledge and wisdom that's going out the door. But we're always looking for substitutes, so if you're not interested, come back. Talk about that, for that. But again, we'll talk more at our closing ceremony on Monday. But I just want to again, on behalf of the board, very much appreciate. I'm sure that some of you must have had, your kids must have had a few of these folks, right? Yes, okay. For that.
I did student teach in your room. I did.
There you go. All right. So again, big impact personally on members of the board, and certainly the community as a whole. And, in a lot of different ways. It's a nice, diverse, if you will, retiree. Eric just making sure our schools are safe and clean every day while supervising all that. And Karen, your leadership at Coxsackie Elementary has been certainly appreciated and well deserved and such in your classrooms. Have just been great places to be if you're a kid. They're lucky enough to have you as they went through there. So again, congratulations on your retirement. Well deserved. And I'm sure after this week of all the heat, you're going to be like, yeah, I don't have to deal with that anymore in the future. So again, congratulations. And just a very, very tiny token. Please take a plant on your way out there on the bookcase there, and we'll have a lot more to say about you one day in our closing ceremony. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so in the interest of time, I'm going to highlight the changes that we've seen in the reserves over the past 12 months. The good news is there's only changes about 3 of them, so you don't have to listen to me talk about all of them. So this is really the end-all be-all screen that I want to look at. The highlighted one, or 4, are really where I want to talk to. The insurance reserve was originally started because of an allegation against the district. The settlement has been reached finally. That settlement amount is for $10,000. That will hopefully be approved tonight by you all, and then our balance will then be down to $90,000. And again, we will be pulling any monies that are our attorney fees for that out, and so we do expect that to be somewhere, above 70 but below 90, depending on what those legal fees do come out to be, because it has been somewhat of a lengthy process. The next reserve I do want to talk to you about is our tax surcharge reserve. Initially, we had started this reserve because of the Sleepy Hollow Lake tax surcharge. We had a $227,000 expense last year, which is why we see that amount go from that $500,000 and drop all the way down. Since then, we are able to pay out any other additional tax-related claims that are outside of our current fiscal year out of that tax surcharge, which we were able to do for another property for the Pepper Tree Apartments. If you recall, we had those on the minutes in the past couple of months here. The 2014 facility reconstruction, also known as your 2014 capital reserve. That is maxed out. It is end of life. We opened that up in 2014. It had an estimated life of 10 years that we could add to it. We could add no more than $1 million to it. We've spent some money out of that in previous capital projects. It is currently maxed out. We can't add any money to it, but we can pull from it. Currently, that reserve sits at about $644,000 and change. Our reserve that was voted on last year for the 23-24 budget vote, it was proposition number 2 on that, currently has $175,000 in it. We do have board authorization based on a board resolution that was passed in September of 2023 to add up to $500,000 in that at any given time, okay? With that, I'm not just gonna go drop any amount of money that I see fit in there. It would be another resolution to say, I'm suggesting we add X amount of dollars into that reserve, just to fully, put money there, because it lessens the tax burden on taxpayers if and when we decide to go out with a referendum for a capital project. Reserves-wise, does anybody have any questions for me? All right, thank you. Hello, everybody again. Just a couple updates. First, as the state passed some legislation regarding external defibrillators, AEDs, which we have throughout our buildings. We also have them in bags from our sports teams go out in the fields. In particular, this was regarding new sports leagues, camps. They're outside. They're supposed to now have their own. I think Tara was talking about, that one and stuff like that. And so I shared with the board a couple weeks ago just some information from one of the insurance carriers across the state, not ours in particular, but in a law firm, it's not ours, but just some guidance on that. And the guidance has been for the school district to not allow access to our internal AED units for these outside groups, and for a variety of unfortunately liability issues and such like that for that. So now for groups that are inside, they're accessible because we don't block them for certain reasons. So let's say PAL is here using our gyms in the winter, they can certainly they can access our EDs. God forbid they ever have to use them for that regard. But the guidance has been for groups outside on the fields, they should bring their own EDs and such like that. So I wanted to bring that to the board's attention. Kind of still waiting for this to clear out, although I did talk to my colleagues last week about this, and that's pretty much what most of them are doing. Is, just letting people know. There's other reasons too. I mean, you never know if our buildings will be open anyway. So if I'm out here Little League practice, you can't guarantee our buildings are going to be open. Access internal ones. So just wanted to provide that update to the board.
So Randy, would that then be a stipulation that the group is going to come and use the grounds when they make that application, that they have to prove that they have an AED or a policy to have one?
Yes, we're going to probably be adding that to our our building use plan. So that's what I'm waiting on. I want to make sure that we can do that first of all. And how we should do that. New York State shared with us with the board staff here recently. The Board of Regents met on their last meeting and rolled out their what they call 4 transformations when it comes to graduation measures. Remember, this is a process that began before, like in 2019, 2020. It was kind of paused with the pandemic, and they came back. So the 4 transformations kind of listed there. The first one is to adopt the New York State portrait of a graduate, and they kind of put the image here that they've shared for that. So the idea being that when kids graduate from a New York public high school, these are the attributes that they should be able to demonstrate in a variety of different ways. For they should be critical thinkers, innovative problem solvers, a global citizen, etc. For that. I was pleasantly pleased by this.
I think at CA, we're in a good position, and going around and talking with some of the admins and some of the teachers, like, hey, we do some of this already. We already have these for our readiness indicators and things like that. So I think we're in a good spot. We're not there yet for all of these. We'll have to see exactly when they finalize this in the fall, what that exactly looks like. But this is what will guide the other transformations that I'll talk about here in a second, which includes redefining the credits as number 2 there, and looking at proficiency as opposed to just memorizing things like that. They'll be looking at, is it going to be mandated time, or is it going to be about learning? What's going to be the constant, learning or time? So we might see some flexibility on seat time for our schools, especially at the high school level. Right? So we'll find that out as well when they come back in the fall with their final recommendations for that. Number 3 is by the biggie, diploma assessment requirements. This is the Regents exams. Right? So the recommendation is that they will not be the only way to graduate by passing the Regents exams. For that, there will be other opportunities or ways for students to demonstrate readiness for when they graduate for that. So this certainly aligns with what we've been talking about here for many years, several years, about our kids are more in a test school for that. And so this will provide kids an opportunity who don't do well on tests in June, 85-degree temperatures, that they can show other ways that they're ready to graduate from high school and be ready for post-secondary life for that. What that looks like, I don't know for sure. I've got some ideas. It's certainly competency-based, which means demonstrating through projects, through presentations, through work-based study, those types of things. Those are the examples that I think they'll be looking at. Because on the side, they have a program they're calling Pilot, where schools are being asked to demonstrate those types of things, projects, and using and how to assess those projects in an equitable, fair way going forward. The Regents exams aren't going away for 2 reasons. One, federal mandate still requires at the high school level we assess all kids in a math, a science, and a ELA, English. All right, so those will continue. And then they also will continue to offer all the Regents exams, because that still should be a way that kids will be able to graduate. So if a kid says, I'm better at going sitting down and getting a 95 on a test, that should still be an opportunity, as I understand it, going forward. So we won't get rid of them, it just won't be the only way to graduate or pass the Regents. And then finally, move to 1 diploma. And most people don't realize there's a lot of different diplomas out there floating around. It kind of gets confusing. I think it's up to 2 pages now of different ways to do that. So there'll be 1 New York State diploma. Kids will still be able to get credentials on it or endorsements. There's still a variety of those in New York State, whether it's a bilingual endorsement or a CTE endorsement, those types of things as well. So they're going to get to 1. Everybody's going to be working towards getting a New York State diploma now. So a Regents diploma or with honors and distinction and all these other things that were somewhat confusing for people. And in all honesty, it didn't really matter to college admissions people. They all get credits, or their GPA. They weren't looking at all the stickers on it. So that's going to come out. Any questions on this? So so there's a public comment period right now. So, and I'll share that out regularly with everybody. You can go online and share your comments on this, and also if they're doing thought exchange again, you should be able to then comment on other people's comments, or at least say yes or no, you like those comments in that regard. So it's open to everybody who wants to participate in that. And I think the plan is they're going to come back in the fall to say yay or nay, and also more details for that. So I'm going to look for opportunities to bend the ear of some of those folks at State Ed who are doing all this work, all right, and see what I can find out and get a head start, so to speak, for CA on this week. Any questions at this moment? That's big. I mean, Regents have been around since the 1870s. Just on your agenda for tonight is to modify the 24-25 calendar that you had approved earlier in the spring. There's some different things that come up When we had set the original calendar, we didn't know about the Fire Prevention Week, so the Athens Fire Department reached out to us and asked if we move our conference date and been scheduled for October 11th. So we chatted with them, and they already have a big thing planned. Right? So that's one of the reasons we're asking to move it to the 21st. Likewise, we had our own training schedule, but we were able to work with the benchmark advanced training. They can come on the 21st and provide that same training to our teachers. That's our English and BLA curriculum that we'll be doing in the elementary and middle school. The other ask is to make May 23rd, which is a Friday, Memorial Day weekend. Right now it's currently scheduled as a half day, just to make it no students at all that day, make it a work day. That'll allow us to participate in a regional active shooter and reunification drill here on campus. So we'll work with the health and safety team from Questar 3, plus all local law enforcement and everybody, EMS, and we'll do a drill here, and then the reunification piece, which should probably be a code green, as well. That'll be part of the day. We'll ask staff for volunteers. If they don't want to do it, that's fine. We'll have PD for those folks who don't want to participate in it. If it's not, they should not be like exposed to like anything awful or traumatic. But again, I can understand for that. So that's we ask for many.
I mentioned this last time. Can we think about next year if there's what other plans we may use snow days for, like a little bit ahead of time, so that people can be a little more aware of it. I was babysitting today with my wife, and you know, it's like unexpected days for a lot of people who are working and can't get childcare, you know, quickly. Although I could probably hire out, but it might be better to have a plan if that's if we have 5 snow days, we'll do this. If we have 4, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So we'll put in our printed calendar. We'll also publicize it off, and it's basically that. So if at the end of April or mid-May.
Okay. I know.
It snowed in Montana last week. I saw that little thing. But then we'll give back this day and then that.
Yeah. Good.
So,
Yeah. For staff who, you're kind of alluded on it, but staff that don't want to be part of the active shooter drill, will they be put in a different location?
Yeah, EJR.
Okay, I just wanted to.
Good question. Yeah, so we'll have our PD down there. It's not involved with that.
Okay. Just for whatever reason you don't want to be involved,
No,
I figure it might not be good for them to be seen.
Correct. And as we get closer to that, we'll keep the board updated on the process, and that we'll be active in it and stuff. So. 24, 25, it's in your agenda. This is just FYI. Take a look at it. You'll actually adopt it at the July 2nd reorg meeting. But I just want to make sure people take a peek at that for next year's board meeting schedule.
Did you look up that note that I sent you?
Remind me.
You have our May meeting prior to the budget vote, and we've never had that, or at least in the time that I've been on here.
Right, and I find the answer. No, I asked our attorney on that. There's actually, I did reply, and I'm waiting for tonight another question when he said something, so I'm waiting on that reply. Because it depends what kind of voting districts we have, whether we have to do it right away, or you can just wait and improve the results.
Interesting.
District voting or not, I never answered. So between now and July, I'll get confirmation on it. So the May one may change a week, depending on what our attorney said on that. Finally, again, I want to say, yes, you can throw a slide.
It's a great picture, Dave.
It's fun, right? Progressive sometimes. I totally mess up. That's fun. Thank you for your service to the board and your guidance and input and wisdom and
the value added we provided, not only to the board, but to the district as a whole. So I know all the boards so we appreciate that and such. And we do want you back. Nothing more is like,
One never knows.
no, one never knows, that's right. So, focus is wants to make, the soccer uniforms pink or purple or something, we'll probably be here the next meeting, I'm sure. So, for that one. So again, congratulations on your service and thank you very much. And I will have something for you because I made the mistake of doing this way ahead. It's been sitting up in at my house. I don't know personally if I left it there. So I have something for you and I will see you or I'll see you now and there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is all I have.
All right, first thing I just want to go over are the contracts that you will see both inside and outside of the consent agenda tonight. We've got health and welfare services contracts for the Rensselaer City School District and the Albany City School District. We also have an intermunicipal agreement for students attending the Wildwood schools, intermunicipal agreement for students attending the Center for Disabilities of the Langan School, as well as the annual purchasing agreement that we sign on to with DCM Lobosi's. Circle of Friends, as always, every year we have to renew our lease agreement and our services agreement with them. So none of those contracts are anything new and out of the ordinary for this time of year. The contracts outside of the consent agenda involve our SRO contracts. You will see items 16 and 17 are specific to EJA. Item 18 is specific to Coxsackie. Ideally, if you are voting yes for item 16, you would vote no for item 17 or vice versa, because we can only choose one of those two. Any questions on contracts for me? Okay, thank you. Non-resident tuition rates for the 22-23 school year have been published. Yes, I said that right, the 22-23 school year. So we annually get these the year after. We are permitted, if the estimated rate is not the same as the actual rate, to go back and either charge more or provide a refund if the amount is less. So we do need to approve those annually, and they are below for you guys to approve. Any questions on tuition rates? Okay. As I mentioned before, we do have a settlement to be approved for $10,000 that will be paid out of our insurance reserve. And item D in this is just, we will also be paying our legal fees out of the insurance reserve as well. District-wide safety plan, annually we give this to you all in June. It has to sit for the 60-day hearing period. The goal is to, at the August meeting, to have a 15-minute hearing or a hearing prior to the meeting, and then have it approved in preparation for the 24-25 school year. This year we were able to meet with our district-wide safety team, as well as sending this over to Questar because we are using their health and safety services this year, so they were able to look through it. There were some redundancies that they found, and there were also some items in there that made the document longer than it needed to be. So they made suggestions to remove some items to make it more of a simplistic district-wide safety plan that is still in compliance with what it needs to contain. So that draft is posted. The link is right in the board docs there, and it is on our website as well. Just a few additional items that did not make the formal agenda that I did want to talk to. At each of your places, I did provide you with this, which is just I spoke with Tara briefly about this as well. This is just a brief checklist of what we'd like our sports uniforms to have on them, what they can be. There are the 9 logos that the liaison committee worked tirelessly to put together. Those are the 9 and only 9. Okay, those are the only 9 logos that will be permitted on the school uniform. And then the next page really just breaks down what exactly that uniform should have. I've got 4 different proposed base colors for a uniform. I'll get into what they are and why in just a second here. White and royal blue, there are school colors. Black has been a hot topic lately at the club level, at the high school level, the modified level, the college level. And black is a hot topic color these days for the base of the uniform, as has gray. I put both of those on there. But more importantly, what do we want on them? We want to make sure that our uniforms are easily identifiable as Coxsackie-Athens Riverhawks brand. And we want to make sure that there's no doubt to spectators who that team is. With that said, we felt that uniforms must contain some semblance, either in text or imagery, of Coxsackie-Athens or CA, and they must contain some semblance, text or imagery of Riverhawks, utilizing either text or imagery. The imagery is the 9 items on page number 1. So I know we had the conversation at a previous board meeting because we need to order soccer jerseys. We still need to do that. They are still asking if we can get the black ones. The decision wasn't formally made. So I did provide to you at the top on that page of black base examples of what a black uniform might look like if it contained both the semblance of a Riverhawk and Coxsackie-Athens. It doesn't need to look like that, but that's just an example. Below that, in the middle line, is another example of what we are currently using or what's currently in our space that meets that criteria. And then at the bottom is a football uniform that was purchased this year that we were using already as well. So that is the black base. We did, if you recall, poll the students, and unanimously they wanted the black uniform. So we wanted to try to find a way to make the black uniform work, but also not ignoring the hard work that the liaison committee put into getting those 9, and only those 9 images chosen. And then finally on the back, there's a proposal there for a gray-based uniform as well. We currently have some gray in our environment. It helps the blue and the white pop. I felt to just provide this to you because if you look across our conference, a lot of the schools contain blue and white in their color schemes, and we are highly likely to be competing against another school that is blue and white. So offering a different option for a base color, just wanted to throw it out there and kind of get your feedback, because as I said, we do need to start ordering uniforms as early as now for the fall. So uniforms, what do you think? Thanks. Good.
I don't like the gray at all.
Gray looks more like a practice
Yep.
attire.
Like a warm up?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about, well, in place of gray, what about silver?
Kind of like the football pants, or the
Right,
picture looks
right.
like football pants or silver.
That's what
I actually like it.
Right, exactly.
Basically,
And I
great.
Yeah, that was the other side.
The gray works for baseball. For me, it doesn't work for anything else.
Yeah. That's why I would just keep it out of the rotation.
Maybe just for pants.
What do you need?
Yeah, for cans.
I need.
Because we
Yes,
can
he
be
needs to order stuff, so we have to give him guidance.
I thought we
So,
were meeting on
can I,
I thought liaison was going to meet on this. Isn't that what one of the email stuff was?
I have to get the uniform orders in. I don't remember when Kurt came, but from that feedback, it was, can you show us, something, or can you put some thought into what uniform should contain? That's kind of how I ended up with this. I guess to start, item number 3, which is on page 2, is everybody okay with those stipulations? Let's take the base colors out of it completely. Is everybody okay with those stipulations for uniforms?
I am. And as long as we're using these logos, because that committee, when we came up with that logo,
Yep. One of the 9.
yes.
Yep.
We're going back and forth placing and attacking.
Okay, so that part we're good on. Are we, I assume we're all okay with white and blue, yes? Are we okay with black as proposed?
Yes.
Okay?
I am.
Then there's the elephant in the room, the gray.
What did I say?
See what I said?
Wait a minute, what did I say though? When you talked to me? I was honest.
Never see you wrong.
I said that gray
I know
might
better.
feel a little
I'm married.
tricky. It might not be agreeable.
I think it depends on the uniform.
I think for pants it's fine, but I don't think for a shirt, the gray part. But I know our committee, when we met and came up with all this, only wanted blue and white, except for the accent black.
If I can just propose one thing, right now, there's no proposals for gray uniforms. There is a proposal for black. If you guys are okay, we'll proceed with ordering black. If you guys would like to meet as liaison committee and get back to me in the gray, is that?
Got an email about that.
Well, when he called me the other day, I said to him, we don't really have time to get in a liaison committee, and you need to order the jerseys. So bring it full board so that you know where you're going, because liaison committee is only 4 people. That's not enough for a quorum, so.
I'm okay with black.
Okay, so go with those 3 for now.
So just black for now.
Black, blue, and white for now.
Okay, cool.
And
Don't forget
only
blue.
these logos.
You mean only these 9 are blue and nothing else?
That's not put on the
Maybe one
shield.
other.
No, not put on the shield.
All right. The last thing, I just want to give some end of the year shout outs here. So between our food service departments, our custodial staff, our office staff in the middle school, high school, I just want to say thank you to all those folks who really kind of rearranged everything to make sure that the kids were taking Regents exams in a cooled space in the middle school cafeteria. Our food service staff was able to quickly reroute our middle school kids to the high school cafeteria so that they could still eat. That's helpful. So I did just want to say thank you to everybody that had a hand in that. I wanted to also just give a personal shout out to one of our custodians, Mr. Weinstein, who has really taken on a helpful role in a few things with some of our other members being out due to injury. So I just wanted to say thank you to him. Also a big thank you to Ted for handling all the transportation woes all year. They were every day. And I think Ted has done an excellent job in going to bat for us against First Student. We found out today that First Student will be crediting us for 1 run from September through February because of all the woes he had to deal with. So I just want to say thank you for Ted for really spearheading that with seemingly needing little to no assistance. And then finally, just wanted to welcome, Scott Bennett, who is our new Assistant Director of Facilities. He started Monday. He's off to a great start with us, and just want to say welcome to him, and thank you to Eric and Mike for their time and helping Scott transition into his new role. That's all I have.